When is the next military progress report? Today. I really don't have anything to report today. I'm still in the process of getting waivers approved. I got to get these medical records, and then after the medical records, I got an ear cleaning, and that's when it's time to talk about the contract. Now, because as you know, before you go to the military office, you got to talk about what job you want to do. And do you qualify for it? What are you going to need to have to do it? They're not just going to make you go in the office, hey man, you're going to be a Marine? All right, go to MAPS and go. No, you got to go to MAPS, get your booty spread, and actually talk about the career. Now, I'm going to be infantry. And I can almost guarantee that when I tell my recruiter and them I want to be infantry, they're probably going to be like, I don't know, man. They're going to do their recruiter tactics. They're going to probably make me retake the ASVAB and try to get me to do something else because, you know, they got quotas to fill. They got numbers, man. They need some numbers. And I'm not gonna give them what they need. I want to be infantry. I'm going to be the one out there for 4 years. So I'm going to go out there and do what I want to do. All right? So, anyways, continue. Now, I'm really going to talk today about why do I want to do what I want to do, which is infantry in the military. I mean, everybody always asks me, right? A few people actually. No, actually nobody asked me. But people always ask, because obviously I'm not the only one in the world who wants to go infantry. So people who want to go infantry are often asked, right, why? And today, man, but this shirt got wrinkles all up in this man. God, oh. I'm putting on a hoodie, bro. Coffee. I love it. I don't know about you, but I hate it black. Anyways, what was I just saying? Let me. So let me get to the point here. Why do I want to be in the infantry? Why not work something else? Why not work a desk job or something like that? Why not code computers? Do any of that other stuff? You better tap that butt. You ready to tap that butt? Hey, Nova, you ready to tap that butt? I don't even know what I'm talking about. So, anyways, well, I'm gonna tell you guys why I want to go down that infantry pathway. There's a lot I'm considering right now. All right. Number one, infantry has some good old benefits. Now, let me say it like this. That's delicious. I always tell everybody, right? I know I want the memories, and like I said, my dad had told me about this because he sees these videos. He told me, okay, let's get this contract signed, so you're gonna make the memories. So everybody knows by now that one of the reasons I want to, well, a lot of people know by now that one of the main reasons I want to be in the infantry is because mental. You know, you make some good friends out there. You make some great memories. You all go through it together. You get out the military. You can tell you got tour. I was trying to say stories, but I had it mixed up. I was trying to say stories you can tell. Yeah, stories you can tell. Makes sense, don't it? Get out. Anyway, so stories you can tell. And then I always think back on, you know, me. My past, my present, and sometimes the future. But I always think about myself. I'm like, man, I'm like, why are you sniffing that carpet so hard? My whole life, I really ain't did nothing interesting. And everything I tried doing, I never did it right. I tried playing football. 2018, I sucked. I was gonna try playing football again, but I never really was interested in it. I like boxing, so I didn't really take football serious. Tried playing basketball, I sucked at that. I played basketball for like a year, made one shot, and that was just warm up. One shot during a warm up, and that's the only shot I've ever made. Once again, wasn't really interested in stuff. I mean, actually, basketball I did have an interest in, but then later on, I started discovering my real interest, which was gaming, game designing, and beating people up. Boxing. So I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested in basketball and football. I want to, try boxing, but I could never keep my grades up. So when it came to playing sports, now I was doing boxing I was almost about to compete in boxing actually, until I decided to go to the military. So I took a small break to focus on the military stuff. So, like I said, I didn't really do anything, super awesome in life. I mean, literally, there's a picture of my cousin over there in this football jersey, because he stuck to football. He was interested in football. He was like 300-something pounds. Of course, he was made for some football. He did his thing. Then they said they nicknamed him about pork chop. And there you go, this picture. And then I look around, I'm like, man, it would be cool to have a picture of me doing something awesome. I mean, of course, graduation, junior crossover. I got pictures of me on my junior crossover. That's like the only picture I have of me actually doing something. I mean, I made it to being a junior, and as I cross over to being a senior, that's something to think about, I guess. I don't even have my graduation photos. I mean, not to complain or anything, but we have the graduation photo of a whole nother person that we're not even related to in the refrigerator. And mine hasn't even been printed yet. I graduated 3 months ago, so it's kind of. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I graduated school, but I mean, I got handed good grades. I mean, these teachers really didn't even care. Half the teachers just handed us good grades, and the only reason they locked in is because the admin kind of suspected that they was handing us these hundreds. Admin kind of caught on to it. So that was like, you know what? We're going to actually go door to door and make sure you're actually teaching these kids. And even then, the teacher just gave us a small little assignment, said, do this for 100, you pass. So we got handed hundreds. So I'm glad I graduated, but I got handed that graduation. Really. I mean, I worked. I mean, freshman and sophomore year, I was in early college. And I dropped. I couldn't keep up with that early college stuff. The normal classes, yes. But the early college stuff, I just couldn't do. College classes, I just couldn't do. So I got dropped 10th grade. And then 11th grade and up, I just didn't do nothing. I was in esports, but we sucked. We lost every game. Of course, Smash Bros. Dudes was whooping butt. I mean, I don't know what it is about Smash Bros. That game sucks. I hate it, but I'm not into fighting games like that. That's why I don't play Mortal Kombat like that. I don't play Street Fighter, Tekken, any game like that. Fighting games, I'm a first-person shooter type of person. I like first-person shooting games. Some third-person shooters I'll accept, like Helldivers. I like that game. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I didn't do nothing but esports in junior year, and then senior year is when I did absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. I boxed for a little bit, but I didn't even make it to no competition, which is what I was training to do. So I was just pretty much just in training and sparring the whole time. Never really completed. So even in boxing, I really didn't do anything like super special. I got a knockdown in sparring, but I mean, it's not. I mean, I knocked him down and got nothing in return. It's a sparring match. There's no win. There's no lose. And then I didn't even get the knockdown on camera. My grandma was recording, and right as I got the knockdown, all of a sudden the camera's pointed down. I'm like, man, I was like, come on, man. I was so ready to watch that video, and then I could tell because she decided to zoom in and then start pulling the camera down. I'm like, really? So the camera, before I got the knockdown, all you could hear was just the canvas getting stomped on and our feet moving as the camera just went lower and lower down. I guess it got kind of intense. And then all you can hear is just boom, ooh. Ain't no telling who got knocked down. I could have got knocked down. Don't nobody know. And I can't even prove it now. I could just tell everybody I got a knockdown and wouldn't nobody know that I'm telling the truth. And plus, the thing is, people see me as a soft person. So if I go around and tell everybody I just knocked somebody down in boxing, they're probably not going to believe me. Yeah, I'm big and I'm tall, but they'll be like, man, you're sweet. You're sweet as a flower. You're sweet as pie. You're a rainbow. There's no way you knocked the dude down in boxing. Nobody's going to believe me. So boxing would have been like the only actual major thing I did in a while. That wasn't even documented. So, I mean, I got a couple good sparring sessions, but like I said, it's just, I don't know, I'll spar, I got in shape, it's pretty cool. But other than that, I really didn't do nothing great in life. And I'll sit down in school, in the class, I'm just thinking like, man, this kid's playing football, this kid has a business, this kid is popular somehow. He's talking to all the females. I got a crush on the female, got took by the new kid. Boom, just like that, over with. This kid right here looks like a bodybuilder. I don't know if he's fat or not. Y'all, if he went to Lancaster High School, y'all know Jacoby. I think he was number 40. In fact, I think that's the dude who even actually no. They had football on my schedule already, junior year, and that's the dude who just I don't know helped me stick with the decision to stay with football for a little bit, I guess. He just sat down and said, "You play football, man? It's on my schedule, so I guess so." All right, well, sit next to me. I'm gonna listen to my football aura get on you. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but all right. I told him my box. He was like, yeah, man, I ain't gonna say that's kind of gay. But he just told me when people say they can fight, he just make them feel a certain type of way. Like, I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, the football players, anybody who plays sports, of course, they get all the attention. I mean, shoot. Once again, if you know, it's like the thing is they just stopped talking to you. It's like I got out of football, I never really wanted to play, and then boom, I never spoke to any of them dudes again. It's almost like I talked to the dudes frequently, and then boom. So that happens. And then some kids go and they become number one. I mean, if you went to Lancaster, y'all know Miss Victoria, right? I guess number one female wrestler for the school. Yeah, I met her back in 10th grade. Literally, I guess we became friends because she just passed me across saying, "Am I a certified N-word?" And we're not gonna go into detail about that. But and then she turns around and makes it as the number one wrestler for the school. I'm like, dang. Even the people I literally sit next to in class just go and make it to be number one. And then there's me. Sitting off in the back of the class doing absolutely nothing. Just bored. Watching all the cool kids talk to all the females in the fine shites. And I'm in the back of the class. Probably, I don't know, probably depressed. I don't even know. I'm not talking to no girls. My friends got other classes. I don't know nobody. I'm quiet. I'm hoping somebody's just gonna do the classic. Hey man, you tall, you play football, boom, I got attention. That's the only way I got attention. I don't start conversations, so the only reason people came to me is because of my height and my size, and that's really it. Some people just aren't interested, and I just don't talk to them. I guess it was just no. So my whole high school career, I just sat there doing nothing. So I get to think, I'm like, man, I really just sat up here for 4 years of school and didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. Watch all the other kids do something. So it's like, man, no job, no car, did nothing special in life. So I'm like, man, wow. I started thinking about myself. I'm like, I suck. I'm a loser. Oh man. there'll be some time, I'm gonna be honest right here. There'll be some times I'll be laying down listening to music. I listen to metal music, it hits hard. And I'll be rocking out, and then I'll be like, hold on. Mr. Crowder, you suck. You ain't did nothing in school. You flunked out of every sport. You got dropped out of a program. I just take the headphones out, the earbuds out, and I just sit up like, you know what, Mr. Force, you're right. I ain't do crap. I didn't do nothing. So I'm like, you know what? You know what? And then having ADHD made it worse. I had a couple kids thinking I was sped. Well, a few of them. Well, that was like years ago. In fact, people now don't even know I had ADHD. I told them I got ADHD. They're like, you got ADHD? Shoot. Some of my family kind of suspects I don't have ADHD. Shoot, my dad thinks I never had it in the first place. I was just told that because I was diagnosed with it at the age of 6. And now, me personally, I kind of agree with that statement. I mean, at the age of 6 is when literally almost every kid has a lot of. I mean, it's a kid. I'm a kid. Of course, I'm gonna have energy. But now, I mean, I just lose focus every now and then, but rarely. So I think that's another thing that just happens because my dad told me, you know, I come from a family of athletes. So we have to move and play sports and be active. So when we're standing still, we kind of got to fidget and do something. You know, we can't boring tasks, sitting still, working the office jobs is not what we do. And because I was told I had ADHD, now I'm up here getting waivers. Which I also still could have prevented if I never told anybody. But anyways, yeah, that voice in my head, I suck. I'm not going to say I suck. I'm not really going to specifically say I'm garbage because I'm not really. I got potential. I could have stayed in football if I wanted to. The thing is, if I wanted to. Playing football and basketball, I'm doing stuff that other people want me to do. Other people say, okay, you're 6'4", go play basketball. You're 214 pounds. Hold on. Who's at the door? Nobody. You're 214 pounds. Go play football. I just want to box. Okay? You're boxing. You're doing good. You about to compete. You're going to the military. You can't compete no more. So you know what? I decided, you know what? Forget it. I'll see the military as an opportunity to actually do something worth remembering. I can remember anything. Everybody remembers, okay, I made this friend this time. Nothing special. Everybody can make a friend. Everybody goes to school and throws paper across the classroom and looks at cheeks as they swing by, basketball cheeks. And that's just what we do. Everybody does it. We all go to school, we learn, we get on our. I mean, shoot, my English teacher, if y'all went to, once again, last time, if you went to Lancaster High School, you know Mr. Penrod. Mr. Penrod has these facial features, right? He literally looks exactly like this wrestler named Ryback. Ryback, they're like literally twins. They have the same face. But of course, with Ryback being a wrestler, he's like a big bodybuilder looking dude. And Mr. Penrod, shoot, Mr. Penrod might be a bit smaller than me. Just a little smaller than me. Because I'm 214 pounds, 6'4". Mr. Penrod was like 6 foot. I'd say 170, 180 something. I don't know. He mostly wore well, shoot, he was a Marine. I don't know what that really has to do with the weight. Well, so actually being a Marine, he's most likely in shape, which most likely means he's like 170, 180. Well, 200 is not actually out of shape. Most people who are 200 pounds are fat. Me, I got a gut. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I'm 200 right now. Alright. Now, you can also be 200 pounds of muscle. So, either way, I'm like a mix between muscle and fat. So, yeah. I just always think, like, man, you know what? I'm going to go infantry. That way, I can actually say I did something. Because my dad, and it's like, my dad himself has stories to tell. My dad can come to me every day and be like, hey, son, when I was in high school, I did this, this, and that, and that. We used to burn pins on people's necks. I ran track. I did football. I did all this crazy stuff. Went to the military. Had these memories. My dad can and then my dad is a boss. He works for Dart PD, and he is a sergeant, lieutenant, or either one. I don't know, but all I know is he's a boss of other officers. He commands other officers. So my dad just comes home every day with stories on top of stories. High school to military to right now, just stories on top of. shoot, if let's just say metaphorically speaking, I'm not even a kid. I don't even gotta have kids. Let's just say my cousins, my family, right? What am I gonna tell my family? Hey, y'all, when I was in high school, I did nothing. I didn't skip. I was one of those kids. One of those kids you would say, white. I talk proper, I don't sag, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that stuff. You know, I just walk around just a normal default average high school student. Not really doing nothing. And to be honest, that's what my dad always told me about. He always told me, you know what, son, you're going through high school, but what are you doing in high school? Everybody's playing sports and band and all that cool stuff, but you're not doing anything. Now, I was going to do band. That's another one. Then I was like, you know what? I don't know. Do I really want to do band and beat on drums? Or is my dad right? You know, I'm made for something more. I'm made for something active. Not blowing through a saxophone. I could do that anytime in life. I was in band in 8th grade. I guess that is another pretty cool moment. But once again, I don't know. I was put in band, and the band sucked. I was at IoT. That band was garbage. So, yeah. No. Didn't have the best experiences growing up, I guess. So, yeah, once again, like I said, that's why I decided, you know what, I'm going to go infantry. So that way I can actually tell people I did something in life. I actually have something to tell people. Even though high school, even though my childhood years were just empty, teenage years were empty, I'm going to the military. And then, let's say something does happen. I get deployed somewhere where I might have to defend. Boom, I go out there, I do my job, I come home, I be like, you know what, I went out there and I did my thing. I survived that. I went in there, I fought, and I made it home. Yeah. I'm a man now. And then when I come out the military, I plan on being a cop, because why not? So, long story short, and of course the military has its benefits, so, you know, you got the college, but shoot, I'm still thinking about making a military career, because there's a lot to it. Like I said, you got, and the longer I stay, the higher I can rank up. And also, infantry, they do a lot of physical work. So I can come home nice, muscular, black man. And then, another thing, if I stay in the infantry long enough, I can command my own battalion. I command people, just like my dad did. Well, my dad does. He commands officers, but I can command soldiers. Father like son, son like father, whatever that saying is. And then, I'm thinking about doing special forces, Marine Raiders. They need physical fitness. I'm pretty sure infantry can give me that. Basically, I see the military as an opportunity for me to, like, refresh myself. And just become a fresh, new person. Unrecognizable, jawline. You know? And that there is why I want to join the military. And after the military, that's why I specifically want to join infantry. Yeah, they do house raids. That's why my dad worried. They do the raids. They do dangerous stuff. They are apparently the first to get sent to battle, which I thought was Army, but I guess not. It was Marines who were sent first, apparently, which is cool. Marines, they get deployed on the land with the water. I got one last wig. You know? And so that there is why I want to go to the I want to go infantry. I just saw a black thing run across me. I hope it wasn't my rat, bro. I might have to run. So yeah, people ask me why would I want to go infantry and go out there. And then you got people like my grandpa and his friends. Very, what do you call it, religious, spiritual, very church-like. They bring a Bible verse or something gospel Christian into everything. So they'll sit down with me, they'll talk about, okay, you know what? The military teaches you to kill. God says, thou shalt not kill. And I'm like, oh man, don't hit me with that, bro. Don't hit me with that. Because now what am I supposed to do? You say God teaches me not to kill, right? Military trains me to kill. And now you just make me feel like, okay, if I do this, I'm disobeying God and Jesus, and who knows what's gonna happen. So it's like, come on, man. I had already put a pause on going to college, and it's too late, in my opinion. If I just tell everybody now I'd rather go to college, man, it's August. It is August. My position has probably been given up in every college I got accepted into. It's time for me to lock. It's time for me to just make this happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get these benefits. I got a few friends I was gonna bring out there with me, but that was gonna go. I was gonna bring with me. I can't tell them to do nothing. But they were gonna go. They were thinking about it. I got a homeboy named Abdul. He was kind of thinking about it, but at the same time, he was like, nah, I don't know. He's one of the people who are like one of the, I'd say, uneducated ones who think, okay, yeah, military, you're gonna get shot. So it was like, you know, oh. So it was like, he's one of the people who think, yeah, I'm gonna go out there. I don't want to risk my life. I'd rather just go to college. However, you know what you doing? He didn't know. He's still here thinking, like, how am I going to pay for college? That's what he was kind of thinking. I'm like, you know what? He was like, you know what? I may have to go to the military. I may have to do it because I don't know how I'm going to pay for this college. But then he was like, nah, I don't know. So he decided to come up with this new plan. Okay, I'm going to work security over the summer. And I'm going to go to Dallas College for the first 2 years. And then Texas A&M Commerce for the next 2, which is the college I got accepted into. I could have went to college with him. I'm going to the military. Then I got a friend named Nicholas. We were both actually going to go to the Navy together. We were both talking to recruiters who was in there. But I guess he said something like, oh, his anxiety was too high. So he decided, nah, I'm going to go for a firefighter instead. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And then and it's like he was going to join the Navy with me. But then he kind of changed his mind and said, you know what, nah, I'm going to be a firefighter. Military gets blown up anyways. I'm like, but you were just going to join it. Now it's going to, I'm like, you know what? It's whatever they want to do. Like I said, you can't really tell anybody what to do with their future. And plus, everybody has their own little mindset in their situations. If he has high anxiety, if a dude wants to, you know, I mean, because plus you can't blame them. That's what everybody says. Everybody says the military goes out there and gets blown up. So that's what they're trained to believe. And all I'm going to say is they're missing out. That's all I'm going to say. Now, in Nicholas' position, he kind of has a valid reason. Well, actually, they both do because, you know, you don't have to go to the military. So not a valid reason. I mean, shoot, military is not mandatory. So everybody has a reason. Shoot, I got a reason not to go to the military. My college would have been paid for by my dad's Hazelwood because he was in the military. I would have used his Hazelwood, his GI Bill, or whatever to pay for my college. And then what? It's like all these other benefits. That's about housing. Yeah, on top of college, the housing, loans, and all this cool stuff. I'm like, man. So my dad can pay for my college. Yeah, but I want to get all these other benefits. If I join the military myself, not only will I get the college, but I also have my own legit building benefits. Awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. Now, for a little while now, I was like, you know, I was also in that, okay, yeah, the military is going to get blown up and die mindset. Then I was like, you know what? I did my research. Unlike a lot of people, I did my research. And I was like, okay, you know what? Not all military branches, roles get blown up. And I chose the one that gets blown up. Yeah, it didn't really matter. So, yeah, my friends had a little bit of a mind change, which I was like, you know what, bro, it's gonna be me and my homeboy out there doing our thing. Now, back to what I was saying, my homeboy Nick, his explanation was he wants to have a wife and kids. I don't know what he wants to do. I don't even know what he's currently doing right now. Because just like me, he kind of put a little hold on going to college to go to the military, then he changes his mind. So I don't know where he's at right now. So the Marine recruiter asked me, okay, do you have any friends that may be interested? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to suggest Nicholas. Now, Abdul, he's going to college. He's probably already in his classes right now. He's going to college for law enforcement. He does not want to go to the military. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to suggest him. But Nick, he may need a little boost. because I don't know what he wants to do. I suggested his number. Recruiter called him. He got mad. Man, this dude was like, man, why would you tell that lady to call me? I'm trying to have a wife and kids, and I'm not finna go out there and be away from family and risk this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, but I don't know. So, but he wants to have a family. Which, yeah, it makes sense why you wouldn't want to go to the military, because, you know, I'm not going to get into much detail about that. I'm going to say, me personally, yeah. So, I'm going to the military. I decided to stick with it and just keep going. However, my sister decided she wants to join the military as well. Now, she says she wants to go to the military and be a dog trainer. I done told her like 2 times. The military does not have a dog training role. It doesn't have a role specifically designated to training dogs. But if you want to train dogs, you gotta be military police. They work with dogs, they train them, but you're also gonna have to be a cop. There's no military job that's just dedicated to training dogs, and that's it. I mean, you're in the military. You're not a vet. So I was like, okay, if you want to train dogs, you got to be military police. So I may see her out there, depending on which branch. She says she's either gonna go Marines, Navy, or she's thinking about Marines, Navy, and Army. So I don't know. So yeah, I decided I was gonna stick with this Marine thing and keep it going. Everybody asked me though. A few people asked me if the Marines don't work out. I've been talking for 31 minutes now. I should put this on YouTube. I put on my 30-minute video. I mean, if you made it this far, then I have a YouTube channel. I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure I put the link in my Instagram bio. If not, look up Crowder Boy Jamar on YouTube. There's an underscore after each word. Crowder underscore boy with an Y, not I this time, with a Y, and then Jamar. Go follow that. Check it out. I don't post, but like every once in a while, so you're gonna be kind of bored. But you know, I'm trying to work on that. Starting now. So yeah, I thought so. That's what I was talking about. People ask me if the Marines don't work out, then what's my plan? And also my dad, they all ask me, okay, what's the plan? Peter Paul's on going to college, so if the military don't work out, it's August now, so classes probably started. You're getting out the house, and I'm like, oh snap. Now, me personally, in full honesty, I'm not gonna say if the military. I mean, it's like a whole bunch. I mean, I only tried Navy and Marines. So if the Marines don't work out, I got Army, Air Force, Coast Guard. I'm not even gonna talk about Space Force. So yeah, Army, Space, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Coast Guard, nah, cross that out because I don't want to work on water. That's why I quit the Navy. So now it's just Army and Air Force. Air Force, nah, I don't want to fly. You know, I don't think I got the brains for stuff like that. It just leaves Army. Nah, I'm trying to go infantry. Army has infantry, so if the Marines don't work, let me tell you something. I might gonna have to just go next door, get what I want. Now, however, I don't see any reason why the Marines wouldn't work. Now, the thing is, my parents probably are telling me that because they don't feel like driving me back and forth from the recruiter's office back home and into the recruiter's office to get all these records and paperwork and all that stuff. And I don't blame them. Yes, I do. Anyways, I don't know how it feels to drive a far distance or drive back and forth. Me personally, I would drive for no reason. I want a reason to drive. I was so ready to get my license and things happened. I'm like, really? I'm just ready to drive, man. Had my car. I was supposed to be getting my grandma's car. Everything was on standby. Supposed to be getting my license last month, in June. It decided it was going to storm and flood on the day of my driving test. Had it scheduled and everything. I'm like, seriously? Why? So, yeah, everything's just being retarded right now. So yeah, I don't know how my parents feel when I gotta drive long distances, but I don't know. But my mom says she don't like driving back and forth places, but it would be like a random Wednesday afternoon. we would just go drive an hour in a straight line all the way to Terrell and in this random area I never even heard of. Because I got this burger joint she used to eat at as a kid. I'm like, this is an hour and 30-minute drive for no reason. Just drove, but you don't feel like driving. It's kind of interesting, you know. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that. So yeah, so to answer that question, if the Marines don't work, I'm going Army. I don't care. If the Army don't work, I'm going to college. If college don't work, anyways, and that's just a strong if. Now, like I said, and that's really like just imagine, because I can almost guarantee the military is gonna work out for me right now. So I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's go.